Listen up, you blundering fools. It's time for the Cracktastic Plastic Podcast. Get all the toy talk your eagle hearts could desire from these nincompoops. Jason, Elgin, and Spooty.
Yo, Joe, and welcome to the Cracktastic Plastic Podcast, where a group of friends get together to talk about one of our shared loves,
Hostess cakes.
and also toy collecting. We're here to celebrate how these little colorful pieces of plastic can transform you into a little kid again. If this is your first time listening to us or watching us on YouTube, which you can do, first of all, thank you so much.
Thank you.
What if they were never little kids?
That's weird. Not
I
possible.
was never a little kid.
That's true,
It's like
little.
Benjamin Button.
But yeah, this can be watched on YouTube. It's pretty cool. Head on over there, hit subscribe, all that fun stuff. But you're going to learn soon enough, we are not toy experts. Oh no, we're just toy enthusiasts.
We're barely people.
Barely.
So we're not always going to get all the details right. And that's okay. We're all friends.
Yeah.
It's going to be fine.
Wait, we're friends?
Speaking of details, let me introduce everyone. Hi there, I'm Jason. That's what they call me. Over there's Elgin.
I'm Elgin.
And that's Spooty.
Is that what we're doing now?
Yeah, do your calls, Spooty.
Hi. Caw-caw, caw-caw.
Oh my gosh. On this episode, we dive into the toys and collectibles that don't usually take center stage. While our main collections get the spotlight, we each have some side obsessions that are just as fascinating. From oddball figures and retro memorabilia to niche items that catch our eye, you'll hear all about the fun and quirky treasures that fill the spaces beyond our primary collections. Join in for a fun exploration of what else we hosts are passionate about and see if you share any of their unexpected collecting hobbies.
Yeah, you better.
I'd give you a hard time for reading that, but if I was, we'd be like still in the first part,
in the
and you'd be asking if I need any assistance.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this episode. Our patron Bill Fisher, he brought it up. He's like, "Hey, what if you guys talked about this?" And I'm like, "That's great," because obviously we allude to our other collections throughout all these episodes when we see that on the show, and so this gets to be all about that.
I heard he's a comedian.
That's right.
So if you don't like this, Bill's address.
He's
It's
funny.
In the comments.
One.
And then later, Elgin's going to take us on a tour of a toy store, and it's going to be super fun.
Yeah.
And that's that. That's what we're doing today.
So stay tuned
You can,
after this commercial break.
Ooh, we don't have sponsors yet. Sorry. You can follow us on all the social media platforms, including Patreon. And those links can be found on our super cool hipster daddy-o website, cracktasticplastic.com. And while you're surfing the interwebs, be sure to stop by our sponsor, toyhacks.com, for all your repro label needs. They have an armory where you can get some toy-accurate 3D printed weaponry and tons of amazing sticker sets for your toys. We also have a monthly contest that Spooty's going to tell you all about.
It's all about beans.
This month, for sure. What the hell? How do you find these pictures? I've been asked that many times.
I Google nightmare-inducing toy pictures.
I believe it.
Cursed images of toys.
Yeah. So we post a picture
Yes.
on the social medias, and so you leave a comment, like a caption. It's a caption contest. So
Is it a caption or you like name this thing? I can't remember what
Do we
you said.
comment the caption?
I think it was just it could be whatever.
Yeah, whatever makes us laugh the most.
Yes.
We when we remember, we pick you.
So make it funny so we remember.
Well, when we remember to do it.
That too.
It's on the calendar now.
Yeah,
so,
good.
Oh, sweet.
And then if you get picked, you get a Toy Hacks coupon for $5.
Like whole dollars?
Yeah.
Whoa.
But it's not like real dollars.
Oh, it's like a coupon code that you get to
discount.
use at toyhacks.com.
Yeah.
That sounds like a fun contest.
Sure is.
Okay.
Check it out every month.
All right. But right now, let's talk about what toys we've picked up lately in a segment we call Thrill of the Hunt.
Listen up, you fools! If anyone knows more about searching for the most unique items in the world, it's me, Cobra Commander. In my reign as Cobra's leader, I have acquired countless items, but those meddling Joes have foiled my attempt at worldwide domination over and over again. But it's the thrill of the hunt that fuels my superb rule of Cobra. Pay attention to my loyal subordinates as they tell you of their latest exploits and acquisitions. It's the thrill of the hunt, Cobra!
All right. Let's kick it over to Spooty first.
I got things.
Yahoo!
I got way more than I actually have over here, but this is good for now. Apparently today is Headmaster Day.
I love that day.
This is Snapdragon. He is the wrong color in spots.
Oh, he's not that.
He's not supposed to be
smoke
brown.
colored.
No, he's supposed to look more like that. But I did. This is going to be an experiment. I did get some UV lights, and I'm going to
Change his color.
Try to whiten him. I also got some 3D printed parts. The head is original,
Okay.
but the guns, and then his little wings on the back, the blue ones there. The blue ones. I'm not talking into the microphone.
So the wings are 3D?
They're 3D printed.
Okay.
So
That's a fairly decent color match to the blue, though.
yeah, it's
sometimes
not
it's
too bad.
not.
And the purple is the right purple. That's the purple the rest of the purple's supposed to be.
He's a monster bot,
It's Monster Bot.
Is that like the genre?
a little subclass,
And he's a triple changer also.
triple
and
changing headmaster.
So he's like a little dragon guy, and then a spaceship, and then a robot.
Cool.
Do you remember his head's name?
Nope.
I know. I
think
tell
it's like-
myself I got to remember these.
It's like
but-
Bitey or something like that.
Close, yeah.
Or Fred.
Then I got this guy, whose name is Brainstorm.
Is that a headmaster?
I
Is
just
a
got him.
headmaster.
It's
The head-
Headmaster
the head's
Wednesday.
name is Arcana. It is a 3D printed head. About on the eBays, it is good enough for who it's for. It's not terrible.
Way better than the one I got.
Yeah.
It looks all right. Headmaster Wednesday. It's a new hashtag.
And so I don't have his guns or anything. I might still get those.
I'm waiting for them to 3D print those.
The
yeah.
guns.
Yeah, because he's very like
Long
two
and
gun
pointy.
thing, and then when he's in spaceship mode, it's actually a part of his mode.
So his guns kind of have wings on them. That's like
They
kind of
like stick out the point of the front of his jet. They
Okay.
Yeah.
attach there and come
Come
out.
out.
Really make it cool.
Sweet.
Yeah. And then I have put this guy back. And then I have a squeeze play.
G1 squeeze
G1
play.
Squeeze play. With a Loco.
Locos.
Is the head.
Crazy.
Also a 3D printed one.
That's crazy in
It's with a
Spanish.
K.
Yeah.
Oh. Squeeze play.
He's so cool. I love his colors.
One of the great plays in baseball.
Mm-hmm.
He is the weirdest looking.
Is that feet coming out of his back?
Also, yes.
Yeah.
What is his
So-
animal monster?
I don't know.
It's part snake. It's part
It's the
that looks
snake, but like so his feet are like
Crab?
claws
crabby.
for his hands. Like so his legs are his arms and the other mode.
Very strange.
Yeah.
Very strange.
That's odd. Very odd.
Only needs to make sense to.
He's
because
They call him a headmaster junior.
he's littler.
There's 3 Autobots and 3
Size.
Decepticon headmasters that are just a little smaller scale.
Okay.
Yeah,
Just 3?
Mm-hmm.
3 of each. Then I got. This is a Reveal the Shield Optimus Prime with his sword. I really like him. He's pretty.
The sword's cool.
Yeah, the Reveal the Shield line actually has some really cool toys.
So it's kind of the
Laser Prime.
laser prime, but like he's easily half the size. So it's that kind of idea.
Yep, with his like boombox shoulders.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That
Very cool.
sword's awesome.
I like how the wheels, like the whole thing, like kind of turns and like sinks into his legs, and so they're not just sticking out.
And light piping.
Yeah.
Cool.
Sweet.
Then I have a couple world's smallest Transformers.
Dude, you left them in the dryer too long.
Yeah. I have Red Alert. So normally they come with like the handgun, but there isn't a hole in the hand,
Right.
so I had to make one. And as the missile doesn't actually do anything, but
You're lucky they got it small enough.
yeah.
Does it transform the same way?
Yeah,
That's-
so the only difference is so on
you
the
don't
door
pull.
panels, like the actual arms don't. They're
Come
like they
out.
are part of the door panel on that,
Yep.
where they move,
Oh, I see.
Okay.
and like the panel
Not
would stay down, and
independent.
the forearms would move forward.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's pretty much exactly the
It's
same.
pretty cool. So little.
Yeah,
Oh, my
Um,
favorite.
and then hopefully I get this one back. I have the clear acrylic Starscream.
Do they call him Ghost Starscream or just a clear acrylic clear?
I'm not
labeling.
sure if it's Ghost, because they also do make a glow in the dark version of all
What?
the
What's your
jets.
favorite color, LG?
I know.
They're like $130 a piece.
What is this?
That glow in the dark paint costs so much.
So that actually makes the second seeker of those I have. I have Sunstorm, which is normally yellow, like the guy that's up there behind you. But the world's smallest one is actually orange, which is way cooler because like it's still translucent like that, but it's orange.
He's so pretty.
Yeah. And then these tie into our topic of the other things. I mean, technically this is Transformers,
Doesn't count then.
but it's trio. So this is Obsidian. So it's a combiner. So there's 4 different guys. I have a bunch of these. There's only like one I have left. I think that's Bruticus.
Cool.
Which
Bruticus,
was
the beefcake.
their version of Lego.
Yeah. And so they fit with Lego. So they fit on the pegs and stuff. Or whatever the
Studs.
Studs.
Nerd.
Actually, they're called studs.
Yeah, you are.
The thingers.
The bumpy things.
The braille.
I almost called them knobbies.
Careful.
The little knobbies.
Then I have a GoBot, a Super GoBot.
Oh, yeah.
Fancy.
This is Space C, SPAY-C, because
They weren't great at naming stuff.
yeah, he actually
I thought He-Man was bad.
he actually he's got a backpack and a half, but he
Yeah.
actually stands up pretty well. So I'll let you hold that up.
Modern science right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Engineering at its finest. He looks like a stormtrooper.
GoBot Stormtrooper. Yeah, those Super GoBots are bigger, beefier, gianter scale, and it's nice that they're just all die cast. And
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty hefty.
He's got some oomph.
You could say it's super.
No.
No.
No? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like GoBots.
Yeah.
I want to touch it.
And then the last thing I have is that even on right?
Probably not.
Does it go the other way?
Probably does.
Probably does. That fits a lot better.
That's not a mask vehicle?
It is a mask vehicle whose name is
Time to guess.
Escaping him.
what's his guess? What's your guess?
Hot Wheels.
Rummer.
Vroom. That's good.
Vroom guy.
Bulletproof or something? I don't know.
Oh,
Something.
that's lame.
Yeah.
Oh, does he have the hover? Yeah.
So he's got
Oh, yeah.
Pops out, and then that'll fold back up.
Batman vehicle.
You gotta be
like
careful
that.
with that.
You do.
There's a little
Those guys could party.
plastic piece there that snaps off pretty easy. Then he actually has like a little claw
Oh.
Whoa. Batman does
grappling
He
hook.
does not have a grappling hook.
Wow.
I mean, Batman
Utility
should
belt.
have a
Yeah.
grappling hook.
Yeah,
I mean,
and that goes back in there.
That's
And
cool.
then there's also
There's more?
the little punchy thing on the front.
Oh,
like a little
yes.
battering ram.
Yeah.
Seems kind of pointless, but
And then his driver is the worst color combination.
Oh.
Like he
Why
fits. Why is the mask purple? I
Why?
don't know.
But that's really
Also, the
Right.
the windshield always comes off and like it slides forward.
Yeah.
So.
my mask.
Now I gotta look it up. I know it's not bulletproof. It's
it's
something.
Super.
bullet holes,
Ooh, good.
speed holes,
I feel bad.
Speed trap.
hovers guy,
Hoverston.
James Hoverston. It's gonna be
We
a,
got
it's
this.
a H. It's a
We've almost got it. Put your phone away. We almost got
It
it.
is just the mask bullet.
What?
Bullet.
Lame. Take
Bullet.
it back.
The hover bullet.
The mullet.
The hullet.
The mullet.
Hey,
So
that's cool, though.
that actually took me 3 different ones to get
Piece
one
together.
piece together.
3 different eBay auctions.
Yeah.
So this comes off? Just kidding.
And this breaks here.
And that windshield is by itself
So dumb.
$60.
No.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
But I
I'm
found
glad I
it
don't
on
collect these.
one that was missing everything else but that.
Right.
Yeah.
For
Bullet.
like $10. So
So are you just gonna melt down all like the spares that you have
Nope.
into a big ball?
I'm gonna sell
Sell
those
them
too.
back.
Sell them back. Yeah, that's all I. That is all I have.
Very nice.
Okay. I
All
wasn't
right.
speaking in the microphone through any of that. I was
All
yelling- I
right,
was
do it
yelling-
over again. Rewind the tape.
I was trying to yell at least.
Yeah.
Appreciated. Thunder Punch Aldrin.
All right. Well, some cool guy named Josh gave me these
Never heard of
erasers. Yeah, never heard of them either. These
Sounds like an
He-Man,
asshole.
He-Man erasers. You got Ram Man right there. His face is kind of
Who I think is the coolest one.
has
there.
been erased.
It is. Why would you use
aside
his
from
face?
his face. I
Yeah.
guess.
And then there's Skeletor. Right there. Arr. And of course Tila. Looks like it needs like a bath or something. Like it's
Uh-huh.
it's a little dirty there.
They look like they've been in a toy box for
Yeah.
30 years.
Probably.
So,
But yeah, those are cool. Thank you. For
Didn't have them?
I don't have any erasers.
Awesome.
That's like some I've kind of scaled back on collecting like merch and stuff like that.
Yeah. Because
So it's
it's endless.
Yeah, there's
Especially
so
Motu.
much merch. Yeah, from Motu.
Endless. I watch Pixel Dan. I'm like, you don't need
I know.
a TV. You don't need a pie dish. You don't need
Right.
a
I do
Jello mold.
I do want the toothbrush holder thing.
It
that
does.
they have
It does look
with the clock. And
Yes.
now I bet those still stand up just as well as the originals.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, probably.
Aha!
So better. All right.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I thought you had it. You're really gonna do it. Anyway,
Son of a- and then
he knocks her over.
but there's a toothbrush one that has it actually came with a vintage He-Man on it, and he's like holding the electronic toothbrush, and then it had like a clock on it. Well, it's not a working clock, but like you could move when you should brush your teeth, and then you could push a button and it was electronic, and it would like say like a phrase like you should brush your teeth this many days. It's some rhyming thing, and then so while you're brushing your teeth to like make you brush your teeth more. But that's one I would love to actually have, like find
Yeah,
one
that's cool.
to like in good condition. Anyway, so about some Motu stuff, all origins, just kind of some of the later stuff I've been opening lately. Check that out on our YouTube channel, our playlist, Motu Mondays. Starting off with there's this snake face. This was part of the Snake Men. I never had this one as a vintage figure, so it's kind of nice to get this as an origin figure, and that they made it. This was a deluxe pack, so kind of the bigger card backs that had this on. So it has another additional head sculpt with it as well. This one has the one with the snakes coming out of his face, hence the name. Snake
Is that
face.
an action feature on the original?
It is. You would be able
Vintage.
to push a button on his back, a slider on his back, and his the snakes would come out of his eyes and mouth, and then come back out, like that. But with this one, they just gave you a different head sculpt so that they're already in that attack mode. And then the snakes also come out of his chest. They just open up. That was part of the original as well. He comes with a little snake shield and then a snake staff. So he's all about that snake life. This was the original head. So you could do like before and after pictures, I guess. So that's Snake Face. I got this 2-pack with Skeletor and Screech. That's Screech with 3 E's, I believe.
Not the Saved by the Bell character.
No, not the same. Who actually had a large Motu collection growing up. So this is just another variation of Skeletor, kind of different coloring on him as well. This kind of lighter purple.
Yeah.
With some extra hints of
Kind of looks like he got left in the sun a little bit.
orange. Yeah, exactly.
But he's yellow.
We faded him, so you don't have to. And the staff has some nice coloring on it. And his mouth is articulated.
Whoa, it's all you ever wanted.
So you can make him talk like, that's right. I have an articulated mouth.
So cool.
And then it comes with Screech, which is basically just a repaint of Zor, which they had also in a 2-pack with Tila that opened a while back. But same thing, same stand.
It's the same with both 2-packs.
Yeah, it comes with its own stand and the armor on it, and the little action feature of the wings flapping on the back. So it does do that. These flap better than the vintage ones, but it's probably because the vintage ones are 40 years old.
Yeah.
And these aren't. But they're literally just repaints of the other one as well, which is just a repaint of the Big Jim bald eagle from the 70s that Mattel also made.
Screech.
And then this is Reptile with axe at the end. Reptilex. Anyway, he's a mercenary of the Snake Men. He was in. You saw his face in one panel of a mini comic in the vintage line.
Love it.
Of the King Hiss comic book. You see him in battle. And I don't even think he's named, but you see his face, which it's exactly like how it is, with his kind of mouth open and stuff. But yeah, so they made a figure of it. Surprisingly, this was not a Mattel Creations figure. It was actually just a normal release, which was odd. I think I got it on Big Bad Toy Store. And he comes with a bunch of weapons. They're really all just repaints of weapons that have already been out. So the axe, that double-bladed axe, is the extra axe that Ram Man had, which was a silver one. The sword is just a green painted. These are all greenish weapons. They're of Triclops, which was then reused for Fisto. And then the shield is a King Hiss shield as well. He does have a nice little tail, though.
Right, so from the back, I'm like, this is weird painted up. Whiplash.
Yeah, so you can stand up, which is nice.
But why is the head green and the rest not?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Okay.
Because he's a snake.
Oh.
Man.
Oh.
I don't know.
He was in one panel.
He was in one panel.
Nobody knows. They can do whatever they want.
Yeah, and they are basically doing whatever they want.
I mean, those colors go together well, I think.
It's nice looking, but it's just odd.
It would have been cool if his head was yellow, though.
Yeah.
Well, but at least the body color isn't flesh colored. It's a little more yellow, so
yeah,
it still makes it a monster and
right
two-tone tail.
Yeah, and the feet are. I mean, the feet. It's like a reused.
He pooped on this side.
It's just a reused parts. Like the feet. Yep. Those feet are like Buzz-Off's feet, and also like other evil people feet. Like it's a mishmash of parts and new parts and old weapons repainted. So that's kind of Motu's whole deal is, well, we got these core figures. What can we combine to make new figures? And there you go. And finally, just open this 2-pack of the Skeleton Warriors. They are glow in the dark. My favorite color, obviously.
Finally open up.
Yeah, finally open. I got these at Big Bad Toy Store last year in that big package of stuff that I got. Pile of loot. But yeah, they do have some slightly different coloration to them. One is like a purple, one's a silver. And then the helmet is a little differently colored as well. But all of like the skeleton parts, and they actually look like skeleton, are colored or are glow in the dark pieces. I think they showed this at a San Diego Comic-Con at one point, and everyone was like freaking out. It was like, they're making Skeleton Warriors.
It was with the Eternia display, right?
Yeah, when that came out.
Oh man.
And yeah, so you could army build these if you wanted to. You could just buy bunches. I probably should have bought another 2-pack because of all the weapons that it comes with, which are all just repaints of weapons that have already existed. But you get a lot of weapons just in this 2-pack. You get a shield, which is the repaint of like Skeletor's shield that he had with, I think, battle armor, or one of the figures he had. So he had that kind of skeleton shield. You have a halberd, which came with Scareglow and Eternian guards, just repainted as well. You get a spear, staff, big whiplash, and then I think they made it slightly softer around there, around the tip, to give to King Randor. But it's basically a spear that whiplash had. You have a kind of a Roman sword, training sword that was in Castle Grayskull, and I think it was somebody else had it maybe, but it's just a repaint of that. You get basically Ram Man's axe. So as you can see, it's slightly thinner on the handle, so you can like stick it in his hand because his hand is always like a circle.
If you ever need to frost small cakes.
Exactly that too. But that's Ram Man's original style axe, just the single blade axe, and the ball and chain, spiked ball and chain mace was also seen in Moss Man as an extra weapon for him as well. It was like that dark green. So like I said, all the weapons have been out before. They just repaint them and then packed them. So if you wanted to have like all the weapons in a display shown, you would need at least 2 more figures to have like, one guy has a spear, and another guy's a halberd, and then a mace and a sword and shield, like all that stuff. So just to make all the combinations or more.
So a 2-pack with a weapons pack.
Basically.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And it wasn't that expensive. It was maybe $30.
Oh, dude.
Like it was fairly well priced. So
Definitely need
getting another one. Yeah. And I think they're still on Big Bad Toy Store to get. That's all I have for now.
Okay, well, I got some things too. It's been a minute. So let's start with some of my favorite one-step changers. I got Skull Cruncher here. I think these are both from Transformer 1, the movie. But
so these are the new figures?
New figures. These are the Super Kitty one-step. Yeah. And you can see,
it feels.
If you pull the legs apart, it'll take care of itself. Or I think that one you could drop and it will automatically turn into an alligator. This one takes a little more. It's clearly an alligator.
Where's his? Oh, okay.
Yep. It's.
Oh, there we go.
And then the tail. Mm-hmm. This is arachnid. Takes a little more finesse with her, but
arachnid.
Yep. It's a little bit of a pinch pulley thing. Yep. Yeah, turns into a little spider dude.
Oh, spider.
And then also from the movie is this Quintesson leader. Turns into a space jet.
I saw that at Walmart. I was like, that one looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like just how the robot look of him.
It's an alien, but
yeah,
but it's It normally is like a hovering thing with tentacles.
Yeah.
So they do it really neat, and it's part of the transformation. Like they spread apart a little. You can then they go the other way when you transform it, but
Is this a one-step?
it is not a one step. There's more than one. This other guy, different than Josh. This guy named Spooty, he gave me the Skeletor eraser.
Totally different.
Totally different guy. Studio Series 86 from the movie. There's this new version of Bumblebee. And he's great. I like him a lot.
Me too. I got that one too.
Looks good.
Yeah, and they're clearly going to turn him into about 5 more characters.
Of course.
Of little mini bots, but speaking of little yellow dudes, here's a very, very little yellow dude. His name is Steeljaw. And he is a cassette tape that goes in Blaster, one of the good guys. You'll remember him from the movie, too. Because there's a little scene where...
The cube.
Yeah, a little Energon cube stores in there. This little guy comes with it's basically like a cone. But there's a scene in the movie where Blaster's got cones. He turns his hands into cones to shoot sonic waves. And so they put one in with him.
Cool.
It's on my Blaster at home. I forgot to bring it. I got Studio Series Gamer Edition Optimus Prime. Finally got him. He's Super BA. That stands for badass.
Language.
I know. But
the axe is huge, though.
It's a huge axe. He's a big beefcake in general, too. He's kind of awesome. Just a neat new version. I mean, he really turns into a space wagon truck. It doesn't look like
Space truckers.
It looks like I don't know. But another new Prime, and he's a lot of fun.
Do you have this? There you
go. I just got I missed it the first time around. Hasbro Pulse has been doing some re-releases of
That's unusual.
year or 2 year. This is at least 2 years old, 3 years old.
Really?
There's a Shattered Glass 2-pack with Optimus Prime and Ratchet. And Shattered Glass is opposite world stuff, so the Autobots are the bad guys.
Yeah. Bizarro world.
Yeah, Bizarro
That's
world.
probably taken already, though.
And so I didn't care so much about the Ratchet, but any version of Optimus Prime is cool. And
Anti-Optimus.
And then they literally gave him Shattered Glass Window,
Yeah.
which is a fun, neat little thing that they do. But yeah, he's one I missed out at first, and they re-released him out of nowhere. I was like, yoink.
They're like, it's not over, Optimus.
That's right.
Because it's Bizarro.
And then lastly, there was a 3-pack of guys from Star Raiders.
Oh, yeah.
A Star Raiders 3-pack. We got
favorite 80s show.
Night Strike, Thundertron, who's the leader of the Space Pirates.
Space Pirates.
So is that
He's got a peg leg.
A repaint?
It's a repaint with a softer blue, with a peg leg, and a hook for a hand. So it's accurate to the comic.
But his other foot is on his sword.
It is an optional thing that can come off and be part of the sword.
That's cool.
It's also a completely new head sculpt. It's much longer, bigger. There's much more detail in the kind of the hair and especially the beard. It's much bigger. Again, more accurate to the comic, and it's weird.
This is an IDW comic.
Yep, the IDW comic, and so it's
that's cool.
It sucks that I just bought the first version not long before it, but
yeah.
And then they added. Normally, there's a little hole peg there, but so that he can fit up there, they put 2 little divots in so that
nice.
His feet can just
that's cool.
Live up there, which is neat.
That's a good idea.
So yeah, for your pirate bird. Well, and then Calcitron. I'm not sure if he's a character actually from the book or not, because he's one of the kind of a repaint of the, not weaponizers, but what do they call them now? But anyway, this is from the Infernac universe, the Rock Lordy type characters.
Yeah.
There's been at least one more truck like this, and he's different. They gave him a different head, and he's got some things different, and he comes with an axe. I'm not positive. Anyway, it was a little 3-pack. It goes together neat, and it's cool, and it adds to the Star Raiders collection, which is always fun to just work on the little sublines like that. Mm-hmm. Well, all right. So like we said earlier, that funny man, Bill Fisher, he's like, hey, what if you guys, I always hear you talking about the other things. Maybe he just got enough Motu and Transformers, and he's just like, I want to hear something else for a change. Maybe, I don't know. But, we also always talk about our other things we collect as well, so this is a nice chance for us to kind of highlight those things. It was funny, as soon as we brought this topic up, you and I started making a list.
Well, I did that because in my mind, I was like, I don't have that much stuff.
I bet you did think that. I don't have other collections.
I was like, I had other, I was like, but I didn't think I had as many as I started listing. And I was like, geez, I need to like focus and like not do that, not collect all these extra stuff. I was like, I got, 3 or 4 of them. That's fine. It's like 12.
Turns out, we each had at least a dozen on our list.
Yeah.
So, well, why don't you? I'd like to hear you talk about some of your Motu
grab
things.
from the bag of toys that I brought of all my other lines that I collect from.
And I'll also say,
yes,
I love it because, you can, because like in the early days of Cracktastic Plastic, when we'd go toy hunting at stores on tour and stuff. The early days, you'd go in, you'd be like, oh, there's 4 Motu here. Well, I'm going to go sit in the van.
Yeah.
While you guys have fun. Not literally, but
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And same maybe for me. I've always
You're
done
like,
horror
there's no Funko
too.
Pop here. I'm leaving.
No, but yes. So I like that we've expanded more and more because it does make that trip into the toy store so much better.
Because if you don't see something on your main line, then you're like, you're going through your file card in your head of like, what else do I need?
And I know we've done it to ourselves just to, scratch that itch. You're like, I have to walk away with something. I want to buy a toy. And this way it gives us more chances. And I like that about it.
A lot of thinking about it more is that a lot of the stuff I get on clearance, like a lot of it is clearance stuff, or it's reduced price, or it's something.
It lets you take the chance on something new.
I'm hardly buying stuff that's full retail price for the non. Now there's some exceptions, like with the Turtles of Grayskull stuff, which it's like half because it's Motu. It's stuff that's hard to find and it's gone immediately. Anyway, I'll just kind of from random just grab stuff out of here.
Yeah. Ooh, this is fun.
All right. So one of the things that I've been collecting the last few years, I kind of saw them on tour as well. And I think one tour I bought a whole bunch of them just because once again, it was like they're cheap, first off, or I could get them cheaply. And when I couldn't find a Motu thing, this kind of fit that because I'm like, well, they could probably ride them, right? They're that scale. That scale. That has a lot to do with it too.
It does.
If it scales roughly with what I play with. Anyway, we're talking about Imperial Toys. These came out in the mid '80s, and they're you can actually always tell them they have a little Imperial Toys imprint with a little crown, usually on like their belly or somewhere on the bottom of the figure.
So you can always tell. There's lots of imposters and other versions.
There's a lot of these kind of mass-produced kind of monster toy things. But if it has the Imperial with a little crown in Hong Kong, 1985, then yes, that is. And they kind of look, they're pretty, you can kind of spot them.
Yes.
Well, that's like, okay, that's an Imperial toy after looking at them enough. They made a lot of dinosaurs. I have a bunch of those. I just brought. Well, this is one of the later ones I found at the corner store actually for like $8, $5,
Heck
whatever it was.
yeah.
It's just like another dragon that, it's
Pretty sweet.
with little wings and stuff. And yeah, they made a lot of stuff is with the bootleg kind of He-Man stuff. And it's called like Dragons, Knights, and something. And they did a bunch of stuff like that. But this is like a pretty good example of what kind of Imperial toys are. Just kind of no articulation, but just a monster of some kind, or a dinosaur, a moose. I think I bought one year, or
But
alligator
it's
or
a
something.
rubber plastic.
Yeah, it's kind of
squish.
a hard plastic, but the wings are soft and the mouth kind of moves. But yeah, it's
Rarely
just,
articulation.
yeah, it's more of like a, I don't know,
Display
if
piece.
you're like 5
Statue.
years old and you're just like rah, 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 rah,
Smash into each other.
yeah, pretty much. So that's one of the things I kind of collect. When I see them and they're cheap, I'll buy them. Like as soon as I see Imperial Toys, look on the bottom of it, boom. It's an easy kind of, like you say, it scratches that itch for sure.
Yeah, and even if you already
And it's
have
vintage.
it, yeah, it's vintage. You can army build it even if you
Yes.
find them. If it's affordable, you
Sure.
nab them.
Exactly.
You got more of them in there?
That's the only one I brought
Okay,
of
yep.
this one because I have a lot of.
We
Well,
said a dozen things.
Yeah. Lately, I've been getting, once again, cheaply, either at Ollie's or the clearance at Pulse or other, or Walmart clearance, is the Dungeons and Dragons figures, mainly like the animals, because I can say, well, okay,
From the new movie.
from the new movie that came out last year, the year before. Anyway, the one I brought is this owl bear. I do have the other one. I haven't opened it up yet, the snow owl one. But this is one version of the owl bear, and it's got some pretty good articulation to it. Arms and stuff move, and head and stuff moves, and all that. But yeah, it's just kind of just a fantasy creature. That's fantasy sci-fi stuff. That's kind of always been my jam, and this is just another.
You might find him on Eternia.
Yeah, exactly.
Same with
You might
Dragon
find him in
Pet.
the forest. Maybe Moss Man's hanging out with him or something.
Yeah,
You never
love
know.
it.
But yeah, it could be in the forests of Eternia or Etheria or somewhere.
It's so cool. I finally
Yeah.
get that. Oh, beef.
Yeah, it's heavy too.
Beefy.
I think I got that at Ollie's down in Kirksville, and yeah, it was super cheap. It was like $10. It was like over half off.
So cool.
One of the other lines that
Yes.
I think I'm done collecting them because they kind of petered out with COVID and everything.
Yeah.
They kind of lost their funding and stuff. So I have all the ones that are released. They were supposed to release 2 more figures in Wave 2, and they never got released because they kind of ran into that wall, like a lot of businesses. But I'm talking about the Alternation figures, and I have 2 of them here. I have like 4 more.
So amazing.
So they're basically a animal hybrid combination. So this one's called Dart, and he's kind of a frog and like kangaroo and human combination, but he even has like kind of squishy things on the side.
Oh,
He's supposed to like be able to flip, and you put his feet down and stuff. But yeah, and they come with weapons, and they come with comic books and everything. And this line is just an awesome new line that sadly went by the wayside. And hopefully maybe at some point they'll start the company up again. But yeah, I got all the figures that they had released, so that's always nice to have. And then I think this one is called Kilroy, and he's kind of a monkey and
Hedgehog.
a porcupine. He actually has. I took him out, but he can shoot out his spines out the back,
Whoa.
and yeah, it's a gorilla, porcupine, and bat, and like because he has like echolocation and human. It's just they're all part of this like Delta team that was fighting it with a government agency, and yeah, it's just strange. The strange figures. They use like rhino,
Oh my.
porcupine, bat, and human, and yeah, it was just
Definitely
it was
bat
odd.
face, yeah.
They're just kind of odd things, but cool, and they were pretty cheap. I think I found the first ones on Amazon during Prime Day, and that guy got me hooked to it, and I was able to get the rest. I mean, I even talked to the guys that make Brian over there at Alternation, and talked to him several times, and he sent me stuff too that he had extra, and highlighted that in videos and stuff too. So check that out. There's an Alternation playlist on our YouTube channel as well.
Love it. Those are so cool.
One of the other things lately is been collecting a lot more wrestlers as well. Not only just the Elite or Ultimate Edition ones. So I brought a Randy Orton as an example of the Elite figure. Well, you can even kind of pose him with his hands. Doing his pose. Like that.
Yeah.
But like a lot of these I've gotten on clearance.
You can tell you've done that a few times.
Yeah. Basically, I got them on clearance at Walmart or Target or wherever. If I can find them cheap, any wrestling figure I'll usually buy. I usually try not to buy them at full price. I don't think I've ever actually bought one at full price.
Whoa.
And then there's the Superstars
Which is
line.
impressive for the number of
Yeah.
No kidding.
And then, of course, the Superstar line. That's all Walmart exclusive, which sucks because they don't really carry a lot of them. But was able to find. Only missing a few of this line as well, but it's kind of an example. They're all 5.5-inch figures, so they match well with all the other Motu stuff. But it's a continuation of the WWE Eternia line, which they also did. But yeah, that's kind of two examples of, wrestling figures that I collect.
It's really been growing too. Your wrestling love is back in full force.
I hear voices in my and of course, I have
Yes.
of course a huge love for the Predator movie from '86 and a lot of the Predator stuff after it as well. Got a lot of these at Walmart as well. They clearanced off a whole bunch of them. They're the lanyard figures. So I basically got all the ones that they had out there and kind of the larger style figure like this one here. This one's actually from Predators movie. That's the Berserker Predator from that Robert Rodriguez film that he did.
That's good.
It looks pretty much like the Predator in that movie. But I have other ones as well. But that's kind of this size, kind of the 6-inch figure. So next to Orton there, he kind of scales well. So I have a bunch of those as well. But then I got, it's like, well, if I'm collecting these, I should probably collect the Kenner ones.
Vintage.
From the mid-'90s. This is a glow-in-the-dark one. And so they have a bunch. I'm only missing 3 or 4 of these now.
The super rare two-tone glow-in-the-dark.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, they come with weapons and action features as well. You can shoot stuff off and or glow in the dark or a bunch of stuff. But these Kenner ones, kind of limited articulation, but they are pretty cool vintage figures that aren't super expensive yet. If you can find them loose, they're pretty cheap. So that's kind of my Predator collection. But of course, if you have Predators, then you have to have Aliens.
Oh no.
So then Lanyard put out a bunch of these alien figures as well, which were really cool looking. And they had articulated mouths and everything and bright colors. And this is kind of one example of them. But I had to find all these. And then I was like, well, I know Kenner, they made the Predator figures. They also make, Kenner Aliens figures. So I had to start getting some of these as well. This is the King Alien with his attack feature.
Oh my god.
And then he has a
Squishy
water feature as well that shoots out of his mouth. Shoots acid out of his mouth. But yeah, so I found a bunch of these and they're like, these are awesome. These, they go well with the Predator ones too. And, they can attack other figures. And so, I have a Predator Wednesday post every Wednesday and have the Predator attack somebody. Either win or lose. So,
always fighting.
Always fighting. But yeah, they're just, and they're brightly colored. It's all that 90s brightly colored stuff I love. And even the 80s stuff with brightly colored, it was always fun. Then, of course, you can't talk about other figures without talking about G.I. Joe Classified line. I never really got into the regular G.I. Joe stuff, like the 3.75-inch stuff. But this Classified line, which pairs better with like Masterverse, is better. And he can fight a Predator. He's that size. So it has a lot more options for me.
Scale means a lot.
Yes, especially with photography stuff and posing stuff and whatever. But this is the Snake Eyes from, I believe, the Snake Eyes movie, the Origins movie that nobody watched or liked. But I've actually watched it a couple times. I'm like, it's not awful.
I started it. I never finished it.
So that's, some example of the Classified line, which, some people really like it and some people are like, this is the worst thing ever. So, I like them.
Yeah.
Especially when I can get them on sale.
Ah.
Of course, but if you're talking about cheap toys, like once again during COVID, my son Ethan, he got me hooked on these, and I was able. What really set it was I was able to get the entire first wave at once.
That did it.
That did it because they were only $1 at the time, over at Dollar Tree. That's right. The Final Faction figures, these are from the last wave that they did. I don't know if they're doing any more waves. Once again, a company that I think is out of business. But this is the General Diaball, but the Poison Edition or Venom Edition, whatever you want to call it. And of course, the General as well from the Alpha Team with his little translucent arm.
Little 4-inch
Gold
dudes.
Edition, yeah. So these pair better with regular G.I. Joes, vintage Joes. But I was able to find all of them. And I recently just found the last one of that Poison Venom Edition.
Oh,
so I'm all done with that. So that's completed. I don't think they're doing any more. They did one comic book. I don't know if they're not doing any more episodes on YouTube. They were doing like a cartoon series. They had like 3 episodes.
Wow.
So they were going all in, but I think they kind of overreached and ran out of money. I feel like
but that price point, it lets you
yeah,
get into it.
But at $1 at the time.
Vehicles.
And they had vehicles and they had, it was great. And they're still awesome. I don't know. I think I'm really connected because Ethan had it and he's like sharing that with him. And during lockdown and everything, we were able to still go to Dollar Tree and find them. And
he
and
got to learn about the hunt.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it was fun. That evolution of that, opening toys and stuff. And that's really what kind of helped me do more videos and do more video reviews, was doing these Final Faction Fridays and doing having a name for a video and having, a series and like, this is episode 20 and this is episode 21, and really just keeping it, releasing it on the same day and doing all the stuff and having kind of the same style of video and doing, having that weekly.
It's that line that gave you the OCD complex.
Yes.
Got it.
Yeah.
Love it. Thank you, Final Faction.
But yeah, that's like I said, I'm done. There's no more figures to buy, so they haven't made it anymore.
Complete.
So that was complete, I guess. Of course, speaking of more hashtags, there's starting lineup Sunday. Originally, I was collecting just Kansas City Royals. That's my baseball. That's my team that I've grown up with since I was like 7, 8 years old. My uncle took me to the first game down in Kansas City, and I was hooked from that time on. So I was always a Kansas City Royals fan. So I was like, well, I'm just going to collect Kansas City Royals figures that I could find. And then when we started doing more videos, it's like, hey, we need more content. So I'm like, well, I can find these pretty cheap. So then I just kind of went crazy and bought a whole bunch of them. And now I have like a whole bunch of starting lineups. A lot of them are just videos of like hauls because it's like I'm just opening these. And a lot of the stuff you can get them for like $3 to $5.
So cheap.
And they're still in card. And the cards are all terrible. They're like they're all still sun damaged. But yeah, and then Ethan and I go out to the baseball field and we pose them out there in the field in dirt and take pictures of them. So it's kind of another bonding thing with him and so it's fun to have these. And it reminds me of all my love for baseball and everything. going through, the history of collecting for me, it's really gone from Motu to Turtles to baseball cards, and then
Back again.
and then back finally, eventually coming full circle. But it's just a part of my youth that it's just like
Chasing.
I love watching baseball and playing baseball as a kid, and it was just I was like I know all these players, like it's like it has that nostalgia feel for me as well.
You brought one from everything, didn't you?
Yeah,
you did. Okay.
And then once again, these are once again clearance stuff. These are kind of the DC stuff that have been the Spin Master stuff that are about the size of GI Joes, and really these are just, if I see them on clearance, I'll probably pick them up because they're still cool looking, but I'm not
investing big time.
Super invested into it. It's really just if they're super cheap, like dirt cheap, this Batman and Mr. Freeze and some of the other figures I have as well. But the one that's probably more secondary, really secondary, is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That was really the next one after
the runner-up
after Masters of the Universe. Chronologically, when Motu was done in 87, 88, Turtles come around. So I watched the cartoon religiously, like every day, And so just kind of a version of the Leonardo, like the vintage style. I don't know if this is the actual vintage one or I think it is. I just pulled it out of the drawer.
Yeah.
And then the Shredder from the new Classics line, which looks exactly like the vintage one anyway. But
the Turtles, man.
The Turtles.
You love them Turtles.
Yeah. And especially now that they're doing Turtles of Grayskull, this combination of the two is just, it's a dream come true, really, for me.
For real.
But yeah, really just, and I really haven't collected a lot of vintage stuff. It's the classic stuff it scratches that itch, and it's exactly the same. Like it looks, and the feel's a little different. You can tell it's a little lighter, but the look of it is like, it's spot on. Even the cards, even the file cards, packaging, everything. It's just, and now the vehicles that they're putting out, the toilet taxi and the pizza thrower and all that stuff. It's, they're going to do a sewer playset pretty soon. They're doing the Technodrome, which I have pre-ordered as soon as it drops from Amazon. But yeah, so I'm excited to get the Technodrome, because that's something that's like
a grail.
I never.
Yep.
It would be so hard to complete as a vintage. And I've seen people like try to complete them. It takes forever to do it. It's like, well, I'm going to get a whole one that's what I love about the Motu Origins as well, is that you get that vintage figure with everything in it and in the box, and it's all there, and you don't have to like search it and like and hope that you can get it.
Although it won't be the same not hearing that squeal when you come around the corner and pull the Grayskull over your head.
I found it.
It's real.
But yeah, so that's as much as I could find of like around the house.
The non-Motu stuff.
Non-Motu stuff. Which, like I said, when I was doing the list, I'm like, it's a lot of stuff. And then when I put it in this bag, I'm like, that's a lot of stuff.
That's a lot of stuff.
It's a lot of stuff that's not
Didn't
Motu.
realize what you've been doing.
I know.
This dang show has really enabled a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, does he need an intervention?
Probably. No. I think it would be, all of us would be.
Right, we'd have to do it as a group. Well, all right, Spudamus.
Yeah, I'm just Transformers.
Whatever.
Except Mask.
I mean, I wondered too, because when it came up, I'm like, I know he does GoBots, but what else does Spooty do? So I'm curious. I mean, I've thought of it more lately, but it's very focused.
It's pretty focused. So, I mean, there's Transformers. There's also, like, the Creo, which is usually the Transformers Creos. Or Transformer Legos. Lego kind of goes into other stuff, too, though.
Sure.
Like, I like all the Lego.
Yeah, you got a bunch of Star Wars Lego.
Only because they're cheap.
Uh-huh.
I don't really like Star
Wars.
Doesn't
mean that counts.
But some of them look kind of cool.
Well, look at all this stuff. This is all...
Yeah. So there's like the converters and like the pre-Transformer stuff like Diacron. Like I would like to get into some of those things, but finding them is super hard.
Right.
That aren't super expensive, and Diaclone and stuff. Like I have a couple, but Mask is the other big one.
That's really taken off lately.
Yeah.
It's Jeremy Sample's fault?
Yeah. I mean, I've always liked them, so.
For sure. We had a bunch when we were kids.
It just reminds me, I wonder if I won my auction. Had two going that had rhinos in them.
Oh, man.
For decent. Yeah, I mean, GoBots is probably the next biggest.
That's the number 2. That's the runner-up.
Probably.
Yeah.
Creo. I mean, I got a lot of Creo stuff too.
Yeah.
But yeah, GoBots have been hitting that pretty hard too since the
GoBots
show
and
started, and even before that.
Yeah. But not. I mean, anything that transforms is cool. But
Right.
I don't specifically look for any of the oddball stuff.
What about Rock Lords? Is that part of GoBots?
So yeah, that is.
But
it is
again,
GoBots
everything
line.
on his list turns into something.
Right.
Yeah.
He's got a theme.
Yeah.
Not a huge variance, I guess.
I don't. I mean, they got to be interesting. Like they got to do something.
Mm-hmm. Got spoiled.
Yeah. I mean I like WWE. Like I like wrestling. I've never really collected them because they don't do they're peg warmers basically. Kind of like they just sit there.
Yeah.
I mean, most of mine just sit there, but
I was gonna say.
but they all
It's not a toy you're going
they
to
have
play with.
more replay value than stuff like that. Yeah, I don't have the random oddball thing, but I mean, I like the turtles. Like I had a bunch growing up, but never really stuck with it. Never really got back into it.
Yeah.
I got a few now, but a couple pops here and there. Mostly Transformer ones. So you see my Angry Beavers
Yeah.
set up there.
Yeah, I didn't bring stuff that was Motu related, just like Funko or Mega Constructs. Cause what's Motu? I'm just lumping that all into one.
Because you don't really do other Funko or other Mega Constructs.
No, it's all the unless Josh gets me something like a wrestler one, but the ones I buy myself are all Motu related.
I mean, like the Creo can easily be tied enough into the Lego enough that it's kind of other things, but yeah.
Cool.
That's what I do.
All right. Well, yeah, my list was long. I don't think I just went into the kitchen. I'm like, started grabbing stuff. I didn't consult the list I made, so I don't think I have a little bit of everything. But I was just talking about it the other day, though, out of nowhere. I don't remember how I got the first one, but now apparently I collect Halloween-ish related Pez dispensers. Vintagey ones. Here's these are cool. I got at least a dozen of these things.
Yeah.
I think I got them in a garage sale or something, a little bag for $5 of these, and then you start seeing them around. And then eventually you got more of them.
Yeah, I've thought about picking up that skull one because they keep naming it like Scareglow.
Yeah.
But I don't think it is. It's not officially licensed for Motu stuff. But everywhere I see it, they're like, "Oh, this is a Scareglow."
And these are all vintagey ones, but Tiffany and I are out Halloween shopping now, going to your Spirit Halloweens and stuff, and they're releasing them again. Now and I've bought. There's 5 or 6 of them on card on a bubble. Kind of in the style of these vintage ones, and I've been picking them up too because I guess I collect those.
So I have some Pez. I think I have 3 or 4. But they're all Motu related. So once again, I'm like, well, they're all Motu ones.
Yep. So,
So I'm like, that doesn't count.
Right there, near the end of Corey's time with the show, he was really going hard on Hot Wheels,
Going
right?
wild with those.
Yeah, and him and Eddie and all his friends were really Hot Wheeling it up, and I'm like, well, that looks fun. I mean, almost all Transformers are cars,
Sure.
so it's not that I'm even a car guy, because he and Eddie are car guys, so
Right.
it made sense to me that their love for actual Hot Wheels. But I don't. The only Hot Wheels I have were ones that were that looked like Transformer vehicles. If there was a yellow Volkswagen Bug, whether it was Transformers or not, I'd buy it because it looked like Bumblebee and other various ones. But then, as I'm watching him, and I'm like, oh, I'll dig through a bucket, and I came across these, and I'm like, well, this is a kind of a way for me. I'll just collect this one style of Hot Wheel, and it's called Zombot. And it's bizarre and stupid, but it's basically, they're cars, but they're shaped weird. But if you stood them up, what is that? It's a robot. Zombot, I don't know why it's called Zombot. Some of them, there's a whole bunch of them.
Yeah.
These, some of them have guns that they're just holding. I don't understand. But it was like, oh, this is a way that
That's weird.
I can relate to Corey and have fun with him, and we go out hunting and stuff. And so anytime, and there's always a bucket of Hot Wheels somewhere. These things are $5 for $1, So that was just a fun little collection I started.
Yeah, and I have some Hot Wheels stuff too, but once again, it's all Motu related, so I didn't count that. It's in that part of that.
Another strange little collection, and a lot of these is, I think, when Bill first brought this subject up, when he was talking about your sub collections, he was like, "Oh, your weird animals and shit."
And looking at it, I'm like, yeah, that's true.
That makes sense.
That tracks.
And for me, my runner-up would just be horror figures, horror things, because it's Halloween.
Sure.
Apparently I collect wind-up toys too. Like, I don't know, just got a bunch, and now I just find them everywhere, but only spooky ones, scary Halloween-ish. Like there's a Jason Voorhees. What the heck?
Wearing a tux?
Well, he's classy.
Yeah.
This little wind-up guy kind of crossovers into, I know I've spoken about it before, but one of my sub-lines in horror is Frankenstein. So that was a wind-up toy, but any little Frankenstein-looking guy, there's a stretchy dude, there's a Funko, I forgot what they're called, minis.
Oh, yeah.
Just some weird little Frankenstein-looking dude.
Yeah.
And it's all Frankenstein stuff, because I have a crap ton. I just grabbed little stuff, little things, because it'd be easier to get here, but all figures of all sizes.
Sure.
Artwork, too. Got old vintage masks of Frankenstein. I just like them all. And then kind of the modern version of the narrowed down singular horror stuff. I always do the Leatherface, like of the biggie icons. I'm like, I can't do them all. I'm like, I'm just going to focus on Leatherface, the 1974 Texas Chainsaw Massacre, my favorite horror movie. So it just made sense.
Sure.
So I just grabbed a couple things. Here's a little, and again, it's everything Leatherface. I'll grab it. This is also another little subline I do, plushies.
Right.
Of horror plushies.
Yeah.
I have so many horror plushies. It's
a big basket full of them.
And now even some Transformer plushies.
And now there's some Transformer ones too. So plushies. I don't think I care. They were so cute once, and then I just got a few.
Right.
And this one just came out just recently, and you can find him in Walmart right now. But Look at that with the pretty girl mask. Oh, it's so cool. Weird things. I'm really liking that. So that alternation line is just, it gets me so excited every time.
It's good stuff.
Because it's freaking weird, but like, here's a Power Rangers figure and a Marvel Legends, but it's got weird eyeball stuff. So any weird monstery stuff, like I've really been itching to really go all in on Toxic Crusaders, any of that weird, goopy monster, strange toys. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
And so, I have a few Marvel Legends now, not on purpose, but just look at that guy. And then like I suppose the thing I have the most of horror is Funko Pops. Everybody knows that. I've been defending it for years. I can't remember. I'm closing in on probably 300 of them fucking things.
Wow.
Because I use the app. You got to use the app.
Well, yeah.
Or you buy more than one. And still, I thought
say that looking at me like I do that.
Buy more than one. You just said before we started, you're like, I almost bought that twice.
Yeah.
But
the app does help. It's good. It's a good reference.
It is. And it's...
Somebody make a good Transformer collecting app.
I wish. The great thing is still about the Funko one is it has just a running market value.
Yes. Yep.
So you can see what's
trending.
Trending price of what it is if you buy them loose,
Right.
So that's handy. And I really, once the show really started taking off and I got super focused on Transformers again, I really stopped.
You did. It was kind of cold turkey there almost.
Really? Because it's like, I love it, but that money could buy more Transformers.
Yeah.
It's hard to it's dabbling.
It's why these are clearance things. These are reduced price things. They're not,
And I've picked up some lately. It's almost October, and everything's starting to hit. Funko Ween is a thing, so it's like a new wave of horror figures coming out. And I just one day is like, I just got paid. And I'm like, here's a coupon. I'm like, shit, and I buy 5 or 6 of them things. And even just this weekend, we're running around after our show Saturday, and I'm going to a Target, and I'm like, what's this? Whoa, what's this, guys? Because you got to wander at Target. You got to wander over to the Funko section. You never know.
Collector spot on the side.
Yeah.
Electronics.
And I've been getting all things The Thing.
Yeah.
Because it was never licensed for so many years, and only recently so like everything is I'll get it, and it's like I don't understand. I haven't looked into it of this Fusion. Funko Fusion, what's that about? Obviously, it's not the white box, but
I think it's a game.
Oh,
it's like a downloadable game.
I think you're right.
Because they have a Motu one.
It's redeemable code for an in-game item inside.
There you go.
And so on the back of here, there's a bunch of horror-ish figures. Yeah, yes. There's a He-Man one, and it shows the chase on there too, next to it. So,
yep.
I got a R.J. McCready from The Thing. The Thing pops aren't a normal thing. And then on the back, it's like there's the Spider Head guy, which is one of the coolest characters from the movie.
Yes, yep.
When the head falls off, grows legs, and is rocking upside down. I know you can't see it on the screen. And then they got the Blair, the monster, and there's a regular version and a pop looks like clear-ish. Okay. A lot of the pops look like they're kind of purpley, clear infused.
Yeah, there's a He-Man one. The chase is Faker, which kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
And then there's a Scareglow on Scare Mare, which is the horse.
There's I
kind of want that one. That's like the right. I think I have them on my Amazon page.
Yep. There's a Shaun of the Dead guy. There's Megan, the kid movie horror.
Oh, yep.
There's some versions of Freddy, Funko Freddy, and Silent. There's some T-Rex. There's some cool ones, but I did not expect to see 3 The Thing figures.
Right.
And then, of course, every fucking Target after that, I couldn't find any more. So I still got 2 to find. Oh, I want that head one so bad. I want both.
Spider is awesome looking.
But so I'm still buying freaking Pops. I can't. And I honestly, with this last batch I got, I'm like, oh no, I'm legit out of shelf space
For pop.
for Pops. And if you've seen my kitchen,
Yeah.
it's 2 giant walls of.
Yeah.
I finally plugged in all the holes. I'm like, oh no, now I just stacking it on the floor.
Yeah.
But I've always liked it. They're cute. Just that it with horror's scary and mean and scary, and I love all the NECA figures. Sure, they're great. But when Funko Pops came around, it was like, take this scary, murderous thing and make it so cute and adorable. And I don't care if it doesn't move. It's the juxtaposition of a Funko Pop horror figure. It's just so neat to me. And maybe that's why I liked the plushies too, because you're like, no.
Yeah.
Why would this evil
Kids
murderous
shouldn't
thing be a squishy little fun thing?
Just like imagining like an 8-year-old kid who's like in bed going to sleep with the little plushie.
You don't even know what you're holding, kid. Yeah.
For me the Funko Pop stuff for Motu is just like, I don't know, it's they really, at a time when Origins was first coming out and they were not really as accurate, feel like the look of them was like, it felt like slightly off. Funko was like making it like that's exactly what it should look like that's, but in Funko version, but the colors were right, and like weapons,
and like those versions are closer than the actual
exactly
toy versions.
It's just like
even misshapen.
Even with their big old Funko heads, it's like
they did a lot of things right.
They did, and that's, they made stuff glow in the dark, and they made stuff flocked, and they get a bad rap, but the Motu stuff, they were really like nailing it, how it should be. So that's why I still love them. Like, I still love all the Motu stuff.
Good. I'm glad. I know I'm in good company. Yeah. But before we go today, I just want to reiterate, I love this topic. I love that we've expanded some, because, man, it really does help go into a toy store. And like, I can look at all the shelves this time.
Right, exactly.
I get to slow down and look at all the stuff, and it's just fun. And it's all childhood. It's all so fun.
It is.
All right, we're going to take a quick little break, and we're going to tell you about our podcast network, the PFPN. Hey, check it out.
You're listening to the Prescribed Films Podcast Network, home to hundreds of hours of free podcast entertainment. The shows on this network all have a common goal: providing you with the best discussions about movies and other forms of entertainment media. The PFPN hopes to fill your earholes with audio joy. Visit our website with links to all the other amazing shows at www.thepfpn.com. Thanks for listening.
All right, we are back, and now we're going to go to Elgin for a store tour.
All right, today's store, I think Jason put this in our chat. It's called Manchild Toys. It's a new store. It's at 903 East Kimberly Road, Unit number 20 in Davenport, Iowa. It's a brand new store in the Quad Cities. It's not opening until September 27th at 1 p.m. So go check them out when they do open. I keep seeing pictures on Facebook, and they're still working on the store and trying to get it filled, so it should be interesting to see what they actually have inside once they do open. Once again, they open on September 27th at 1 p.m., and their address is 903 East Kimberly Road, Unit 20 in Davenport, Iowa. And did you know that in 1803, France sold its holdings in North America west of the Mississippi River to the United States under the Louisiana Purchase, and that Lieutenant Zebulon Pike was the first United States representative to officially visit the upper Mississippi River area. On August 27, 1805, Pike camped on the present-day site of Davenport.
I did not know that.
Nope. And your next kid, you got to name Zebulon.
And now you know, but once again, September 27th, go to Manchild Toys at 903 East Kimberly Road, Unit 20, Davenport, Iowa.
It's a great name.
Oh, it's a great name, and it's a brand new toy store. It's so exciting. It's within driving distance for us. We
It's in Iowa.
Wait.
It's in the good part of the Quad Cities, not the crappy part.
Come on.
There's a good part.
The Iowa part.
So speaking of Bill, when's he going to come be on the show?
I know. Well,
Bill.
He
Yeah,
lives like
Bill.
47 hours away. It's
Yeah.
and
He's been
working.
to
I
this
know.
town before.
I know.
He knows the
come back.
directions.
We'll see him soon at Halloween-a-Palooza.
So then you bring your shit to be on the show.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
But all right. Well, another thing you can do besides say hi to Bill at Halloween-a-Palooza, you can go over to Apple Podcasts and leave us a 5-star review. That would really help the show. Have you done that? Do you
Am
know
I
what
supposed to
an
review
Apple?
my own show?
You haven't? I
you?
haven't either. No. Yes, of course I have. Yeah.
Have
and
Have you reviewed our own show?
yeah,
Oh,
all the shows on the PFPN, we all shared our links and we all
okay.
went and reviewed each other's shows, helped get some. We're saying that's how desperate we are. We need you to get some reviews over there, and you do. We'll read them on the show. It's pretty cool.
Awesome.
And while you're right there on the internet, you're at your keyboard, just type in patreon.com/Cracktastic Plastic. It's another great way to help out the show. Pick a tier, give us a couple bucks, and you get to hang out with us in lots of ways. That's weird.
So we'll give you tears.
One of those sweet perks is getting your name read on the show, like these awesome people: Tony Miller, Chris Turnip-Simmons, Peter Glinsman, Alex LaForest, that comedian Bill Fisher guy, and Michelle Pizzolo. Yeah, it's awesome. We just got monetized on YouTube. Go over there,
Yay.
become a channel member, only 99 cents a month. It's awesome.
Get those perks.
Oh, get those
Get in the
perks.
super chat and be super.
Oh, that's all you want. You get a cape with it. They send you a cape,
Yeah,
I think.
I think so.
Yeah, all right. Well, at least he didn't hit the stop button. That's good. Well, thanks, everyone.
You'd think with an eyeball that big,
He would.
he would have saw what was happening.
He saw the whole thing. All right. Well, thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We love talking toys with you. Until next time, talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Later.
Thank you for listening to the Cracktastic Plastic Podcast. But not so fast, my foul fiends. Don't forget to follow these fools on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And visit cracktasticplastic.com. I'll be back.